Hello and welcome to this Functional Skills Maths Practice Paper 4 at Level 1. The point of this video is to give you the answers to the questions and show you the processes required to get those answers. I'm going to start with section A, which is the non-calculator section. You have 25 minutes and a total of 15 marks available. Let's start with question 1. Work out 1/4 of 24. So 1/4 of 24 is how we would write it mathematically. We wouldn't do that, we would do this. So that's the process. So 24 divided by 4 is 6. So those two cancel out to give us 6, and 1 times 6 is 6 for 1 mark. What is 12 squared for question 2? So 12 squared means 12 times 12. Now, if you know your 12 times tables off the top of your head, you know it's 144, and you can write 144 on the answer line. Some people might not remember their 12 times table, in which case you can do your grid of 10 and 2 multiplied by 10 and 2. 10 tens are 100, 10 times 2 is 20, 2 tens are 20, and 2 twos are 4. Add them up together, and add these two together to get the same answer. So if you can remember your times table is 144. If you can't, then just do 12 times 12, which is what 12 squared means. The next one is a bit of practice at BIDMAS. So we know that with BIDMAS, we do division and multiplication before addition and subtraction. So we need to do this first. So 7 times 2 is 14, so it becomes 42 minus 14. If you're at all unsure, just set up your method to get the correct answer of 28. Question 4, what is minus 5 plus 3? So if you're at all unsure, again, set up your number line. You're at minus 5, you're going in the positive direction, 3. So minus 5, minus 4, minus 3, you're at minus 2 for 1 mark. Question 5. Work out 6.38 plus 8.45. So they want us to add decimals. All we need to do for this as our process is to do the column method. Start from the right hand side. 5 plus 8 is 13. 4 and 3 is 7, plus the one we carried is 8. 8 and 6 is 14. So 14.83 on our answer line. Question 6. Round 6.384 correct to 1 decimal place. So 6.384, 1 decimal place means we're interested in the number 3 and nothing after it. However, we have to decide whether to stick with the 3 or go up to a 4. Because this next number is an 8, we go up to a 4. So it becomes 6.4 to 1 decimal place. Question 7. Jack is keeping a record of the number of steps he takes each day, and here's a count of his steps for each day. Work out the range of the number of steps. So you need to remember that range is the highest number, take away the lowest. So looking down our list, 15,323 is the highest, and our lowest number is 8,565. And we're going to subtract the 2. So 5 from 3 doesn't go, carry a 1. 5 from 13 is 8. 6 from 1 doesn't go. 6 from 11 is 5. 5 from 2 doesn't go. 5 from 12 is 7. 8 from 4 doesn't go. 8 from 14 is 6. So the range is 6, 7, 5, 8, and they are steps. Use approximation to check your answer. So we know the big number is roughly 15,000, and the little number we can take as 9,000. So subtract one from the other, and our approximation is 6,000. Question 8. Alan works at a warehouse in Runcorn. A furniture company needs to deliver from Runcorn to Liverpool. So we're going from Runcorn to Liverpool, and then from Runcorn to Nantwich. Runcorn to Nantwich. Alan uses this map to work out the delivery charges. Part A. How far is Liverpool from Runcorn? So we need to measure this accurately with a ruler. And I get 3 centimetres using my ruler. So using this scale here, we've got centimetres in kilometres. 1 centimetre is 10 kilometres. I've just measured 3 centimetres. Multiply it by 3 and you end up with 30 kilometres. So for 1 mark on the answer line, 30 kilometres. The next question is, how far is Nantwich from Runcorn? So back to our map, and we need to get our ruler out and measure this distance between Runcorn and Nantwich. And I measure it as 4.9 centimetres. So using our ratio again, centimetres to kilometres, one of these is 10 of those, we've got 4.9, we've multiplied by 4.9, do the same on the other side, 4.9 times 10 is 49. So Nantwich is 49 kilometres from Runcorn. Still part of the same question, Alan uses these delivery charges. How much would Alan charge for a delivery from Runcorn to Liverpool? So we need our mileage from part A, Runcorn to Liverpool, which is 30 kilometres. Go to our table and see where 30 kilometres fits in. So it's between 20 and 35. So we would charge, it's money, £14.99. Part D, how much would Alan charge for a delivery from Runcorn to Nantwich? Just to remind ourselves, the mileage from Runcorn to Nantwich is 49 kilometres. So looking at our table, over 35 kilometres is £24.49. And again, that's 1 mark. John works Monday to Friday. He buys his lunch on his way to work. Each day, John buys a sandwich, a bottle of water and a bag of crisps. How much does he spend over a week if he buys his lunch from Shop A every working day? So he buys for his lunch a sandwich, a bottle of water and a bag of crisps. Shop A, £2.49 plus 60 pence plus 85 pence. Add them up and you end up with £3.94. That's for 1 day. So each of his working days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, so it's 5 days worth. So we need to multiply £3.94 by 5. Do this whichever method you prefer. So let's use the box method. Remove the decimal point 2 places and it becomes 394 times 5. 5 threes are 15 with 2 zeros. 5 nines are 45 with a 0 and 5 fours are 20. Add them together, so we've got 470 with these two, plus our 1500 is 1970. Put your 2 decimal places back, and it's £19.70. For part B, how much does he spend over a week if he buys his lunch from Shop B every day? So it's a fixed price of £3 for 5 days, which is £15. John thinks he's going to save more than £7.50 a week if he buys his lunch each day from Shop B instead of Shop A. Is he correct? Well, we've got £19.70, the Shop A price. We've got £15 as the Shop B price. If we take one from the other, it will actually tell us how much he saves. So he saves £4.70. So we need to answer the question, no, he only saves £4.70. And that's the end of section A. And section A is worth 15 marks. Now let's have a look at section B. You are allowed to use your calculator. You have 1 hour and 20 minutes, and there are a total of 25 marks. Question 1. In June, Gemma paid £68 for her electricity. In July, she will pay 5% more for her electricity. Work out how much Gemma will pay in July. So we need to find out 5% of the £68 and then add this to our £68 for our 5% increase. So using our calculator, just to show you how this works, we put in 5, shift the percentage button of the £68. So 5% of 68 equals, press the SD button and it tells us it's 3.4. So we now need to add 68 and the increase price, the 5% increase of 3.4. Again, do it on your calculator, 71.4. So in money terms, the new price for electricity in July is going to be £71.40. Don't forget the pound sign. Don't forget the 0 for money. Question 2. The table gives some information about the number of visitors to the gym last month. Complete the frequency column. So we're using a tally, so we know they're in groups of 5. So there are 5, 10 lots of people between 1 and 5. 6 and 10, we've got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 3. Here we've got 5, 10, 15, 22. And here 5, 10, 11. So complete the frequency column, 1 mark, that's done up above. So on the grid below, draw a suitable graph for this information. So this is a graph of visitors. This side we've got the frequency, and then across the bottom we've got the groups. So just to remind ourselves, there was 1 to 5, 6 to 10, 11 to 15, and above 15. And this was a count of our number of visitors. So now we need to pick a scale that goes up to around 50. If we look at our frequency count, our biggest number is 43. So we're going to round it up because we've got to plot up to that number. So we're going to go for 50. So pick a scale on the left that takes us to 50. So we can go 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. That's fine. Or can we go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45? That actually works quite nicely. So if we do our frequencies in 5s, and then all we need to do is draw the bar up to the height of our frequencies. So 10, 43, 22 and 11. There we go. And of course you would use a ruler, not my rubbish freehand that I do. And that's worth 4 marks. Question 3. Alfie sells flooring for playgrounds. He has this diagram of the playground. The playground is rectangular, 9 meters by 15. The lawn is 3 meters by 4 meters. Alfie will put flooring on all of the space inside the playground, but not the lawn. The flooring costs £30 per square metre. Work out the total cost of the flooring. So this is one of those big areas, take away the little area. So our big area is 15 times 9. Put this in your calculator. That's 135 and it's metres squared. Our small area is 4 times 3, which is 12 metres squared.
So the amount of flooring we need to cover
is 135 minus 12, which on the calculator gives me 100 423 meters squared. So to work out the cost, we've got £36 times 123 square meters. Put this in our calculator. And that's £4,428 for the total cost. So put it on your answer line, and that's worth 5 marks. Question 4. Josh is designing gift boxes, and he designs these boxes. So we have a cuboid, a cylinder, a triangular prism, and a triangular based pyramid. Josh needs to know the shape of the boxes from different views. So place the correct numbers in the space to complete these sentences. Shape, whichever, is the plan view of the cylinder. So if we go back to our cylinder, looking from above, we end up with a circle. So shape 1 is the plan view of the cylinder. For part B, shape, whichever, is the front view of the triangular prism. So the front view of the triangular prism is the triangle. So that's shape 4. The triangular pyramid has how many faces, edges, and vertices? So this is our triangular pyramid. So it's got 1, 2, 3, 4 faces. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4 corners or vertices. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 edges. So let's go back and fill that in. The triangular pyramid has 4 faces, 6 edges, and 4 vertices. And that question is worth 4 marks. Question 5. Kate has this information about the total monthly sales for a shop in 2018. And here we have a line graph. Kate needs to put this information into a table. The table must show the total sales for each quarter of the year. So there's our 4 quarters. And then draw and complete a suitable table for Kate. So our table must have the 4 quarters of information. So quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, and quarter 4. And she needs to put the total sales for each quarter in there. So this will just be total sales, and we'll go across that way, and I presume they're in pounds. So going back, we have to add up each quarter. So January, February, March finishes here. So we need to take the readings for January, February, March. And we have 160, 60, and 150. So we're going to add them together. And the total sales is 370 for that quarter. Now for April, May, and June. So April, May, and June, we have April 90, May 30, and June 10. Add them together and you get 130. So on our table, quarter 2 is 130. Quarter 3 is July, August, and September. So July, August, September, we have July 40, August 50, and September 140. And that gives us total on our calculators of 230. Put this in our table. And then we finish off with quarter 4, so October, November, and December. October is 70. November is 90. and December is 140. Add them together and we have a total of 300 that we put into our table. So there's our suitable table showing the total sales broken down by quarters, and that's worth 3 marks. Question 6. AB and BC are two sides of this parallelogram. On the grid, complete the parallelogram. So we need to go 3 down and 1 across from C. 1, 2, 3 down and 1 across. So that completes our parallelogram. Here is a regular pentagon. Draw all the lines of symmetry on this pentagon. So we know we can cut it from the center of one to the center of the other. So there are the 5 lines of symmetry. Here is a regular hexagon, and it's asking us what type of angle is angle X, and circle the correct answer. So we know it's not acute, we know it's not a right angle, so it must be obtuse. Question 7. Karen is a cake designer and she's making a birthday cake. The top of the cake needs to be a triangular with one side of length 10 centimeters, one side of 12 centimeters, and a 90-degree angle between these sides. Draw the top of the cake for Karen. And we've got a scale here of our drawing and real world, where the drawing is in squares and the real world is in centimeters. So 1 square is 2 centimeters. So to draw the side of length 10 centimeters, we've multiplied that by 5, so there are 5 squares. So we'll draw the 5 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that represents our 10 centimeters. Then, using our ratio again, the other side is 12 centimeters. So to go from 2 to 12, I've multiplied by 6. Do the same here. I need 6 squares. So make sure we've got our right angle, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, draw 6 squares. Connect the two ends, and there's our triangular cake. Label the sides, 12 centimeters, the right angle, and the 10 centimeters, because that's what we're interested in. Question 8. Daniel has these test results. 46% in public services, 14 out of 25 for maths, 13 out of 20 for English, and 6 out of 10 for art and design. His tutor wants to compare his results. List the subjects in order from his best result to his worst. So we're going from best to worst, and show why you think this. So let's just convert all these into the same format. So let's make them all percentages. So to turn a fraction into a percentage, put the fraction into your calculator and multiply it by 100. So 14 over 25, and then move the rocker to the right times 100 and press equals. And you get 56%. Let me show you that on the calculator. We have 14 over 25 as our fraction. So 14, rocker switch down, over 25, rocker to the right, times 100 to turn it into a percentage, and we end up with 56. The same for English then. Create the fraction, 13 over 20. Move the rocker to the right, multiply it by 100 to get a percentage, and you've got 65%. And then finally, for art and design, we've got our fraction, which is 6 over 10. Move the rocker to the right and then multiply it by 100. Press equals, and you've got 60%. So list the subjects in order from his best to his worst. English is his best with 65%. Art and design is next. Then we've got maths at 56%, and then finally public services. And that's the order from best to worst. And of course that will go on your answer line. Question 9, write 3 over 60 as a fraction in its simplest form. All we need to do this is put the fraction into our calculator and press equals, and it'll do it for you, and it's 1 over 20. Nice, straightforward mark. Question 10. A group of dancers raised some money for a charity. Here are some of the information about the money that they've raised. One of the dancers is chosen at random to give the money raised to the charity. What is the probability that this dancer raised
Less than
£10? So we're looking at our total of 60 people, and then raised less than £10. There were 23 and 15 that raised less than £10. So add those two together to get 38. So 38 dancers raised less than £10. So our probability becomes 38 over 60. You've created a fraction, so put it in your calculator and press equals. And we have 19 over 30. And the calculator will always simplify it for you. So the probability is 19 over 30, and that is worth 3 marks. Question 11. Sarah has a snack at work each day. Sarah has this information about the snacks she has during the week. So we've got the various snacks and the number of these calories. Sarah thinks the mean number of calories in the snacks is more than 200. Is she correct? Show why you think this. So we need to work out the mean of these numbers. So we have to add them together. So all we need to do is write the word sum and just add them together so we don't have to write them out again. Put the equal sign here. So the total sum is 905 calories. Now, to work out the mean, you have the total and you divide it by the number of numbers. So we divide by 5. So that's 181 calories. So now we've calculated the mean. Let's look at the question and see how we have to answer it. Sarah thinks the mean number of calories in these snacks is more than 200. We've shown that it's 181, so it's less. So is she correct? No, she is wrong. And then if you want to, it is 181 calories mean value. And that question is worth 3 marks. Question 12. Joanne is buying a new pair of shoes in Europe. The length of her foot is 27.5 centimeters. Joanne uses the rule to work out her European shoe size. So it's the length in centimeters divided by 2.5 gives you the length in inches. The length of a foot in inches, you multiply by 3, divide by 8, and then it gives you the European shoe size. So Joan thinks her European shoe size is a size 38. Is she correct? So what we need to do is put her shoe size in here and go through our function machine to see what European size she actually is. So the length is 27.5 and we need to divide that by 2.5. Do this on your calculator and you end up with 11. So we have 11 inches. So we put length of her foot in inches, which is 11, and we need to multiply that by 3. So we get 33. So next we need to add 8, which gives us our shoe size of 41. Now 41 is bigger than the 38 that she said, so to answer the question, is Joanne correct? We write on the answer line, no, she is not. And this question altogether is worth 4 marks for the working out and the answer on the answer line. Question 13. Ali is preparing for a race. He runs laps around the football pitch to prepare for the race. The length of each lap is the total distance along the 4 edges of the pitch. And here's a diagram of our pitch. Ali needs to run at least 10 kilometers. What is the minimum number of complete laps Ali should run? So 10 kilometers into meters, because all our measures in meters, means we multiply by 1,000. So it's 10,000 meters is his target. The distance around the track is the perimeter. So we're going to add 90 and 75 to get 165. Multiply it by 2 for the other 2 sides. That gives us 330 meters per lap. If we divide the 10,000 meters by 330, it tells us how many laps he needs to run. And it says 30.30 recurring. So the minimum number of laps he needs to complete, round up, because if he does 30 laps, he won't have done the 10 kilometers. It's 31 laps. So on the answer line, 31 laps. Use approximation to check one of your calculations. It's letting us choose any calculation to do this check. So let's do 165 times the 2, which is roughly 320. Any calculation where you round any of these numbers will do for your check of a calculation, and that's worth 1 mark. And that's the end of section B, which is worth 45 marks. Any questions? Please talk to your teacher. I hope you've enjoyed this video.